Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to my channel, but there's something to call me. And yeah, so let's talk about E3. Oh man, I know it happened a week ago. I'm really late right now, but yeah. So yeah, I've been busy. So yeah, E3 happened, and what I've been hearing, everybody's opinions about this year's E3 is that this is one of the worst ones. So yeah, a lot of people didn't like this year's E3. For me, I've watched a lot of E3s, and because of that, I got used to being disappointed by E3s. So, because I watched so many E3s, I know what to expect that will get me excited, and I know what will disappoint me. So, and most of the disappointments are the presentations. I'm talking about, the pacing, the hosts that try to be funny, they maybe do skits and shit, all that stuff. Like, I know what will be the worst parts of it, and it's most of the time it's going to be those. So whenever that happens in a presentation, I'm like, all right, just ignore that. Don't let that affect your enjoyment when they reveal games. So because of that, I don't get as disappointed as everybody does. So this E3, I didn't really find it that disappointing. All that matters for me are the games. I will ignore everything if they showed me games that I care. And for this year, there was a lot of bullshit, I won't deny you that, but there was a decent amount of games that I liked, so it's kind of just like, oh, that's a win for me, but everybody else, it's like, oh, this is the worst E3, so yeah, that's how my brain works. Alright, so now let's discuss about E3. Let's first start off with the good conferences, because I did the bad ones first, and it was like 13 minutes long. I was like, oh shit, everybody's just gonna, probably lose interest and just leave out of the video. So let's talk about the good conferences first, which were Nintendo and Xboxes. Let's talk about Xbox first. So I feel like this has got to be Xbox's like well-paced E3 conference of all time. Like I just love the pacing of this conference. It was just games after games after games, no gaps, no fillers, no we gotta talk to our audiences and talk about how Xbox is doing well this year. No, none of that shit. It's just games after games, just showing trailers, gameplay, all that shit, the stuff we want. So this is one of Xbox's well produced E3s. So yeah. The only thing I will critique about this this conference is it was just a little bit too much CGI. If it was half CGI and half gameplay, then this would have been a great conference. It's just it was just like what was it? It was like the last E3. Like they had a good conference, but it was just full of, CGI trailers, And they showed a bunch of games that probably won't come out until after 3 years. Alright, so let's talk about the games that they revealed in their conference. So the games they revealed, they weren't games where it's like, just show them anything. It's like, no, these games were pretty good. It's either they seem interesting or I don't care, but I could see why someone would be interested in this game. There was a bunch of those games, so it wasn't shitty-ass games they were just revealing, and they were actually, pretty interesting. So, the games that I really cared was when they revealed, Forza Horizon, Halo, Stalker, and Starfield. So, those were the games, when they showed off, I was like, ooh, this looks really good! Alright, so, Stalker. I have heard about this game. I've seen it go on sale on Steam a few times, and I was interested. I heard it was like Fallout, but more grounded and more on the survival aspects of the game. So I was interested in playing it, but I was like, when should I do it? But with this game, I think the review was so perfect. It was like a mixture of, a little bit cinematics and then gameplay. It was like, ooh, I like this shit. I wish more of the reveals were like Stalker, where it's just mostly gameplay, But yeah, the reveal of Stalker was pretty cool. The gunplay looks good. Survival aspect, the story seems pretty interesting. This is located in in Russia, where it's all radiated. So yeah, it reminded me a lot of Metroid. No, Metro, not Metroid. What the fuck? But I guess that's what Metro was inspired by. I'm not sure if Stalker was before Metro, and I'm not sure if Metro was before Stalker. All right, Halo. Halo, I was slightly disappointed. I was really hoping they were gonna show the same type of gameplay they showed in the last E3. It's gonna be like how long was that? It was like 8 minutes of just gameplay. I was really hoping to see that in this E3, but it wasn't. They talked more of the multiplayer aspect of the game, which they revealed that multiplayer for Halo is free to play. So, if you want to play multiplayer and don't want to play Halo Infinite for the campaign, then you could just get the multiplayer, which is pretty smart because that also means that, for some players, that don't have Xbox Live, they can play Halo Infinite multiplayer for free, which is really consumer friendly. It's surprising to see. So Halo Infinite multiplayer. So they were showing off a video about, the devs talking about how, the changes for the Halo multiplayer, and also showing off some gameplay. And man, this looks really good. Oh my god, it's real. Halo's really bringing me back in. It's been a long time. I've been so excited for something Halo, other than the Master Chief Collection. But yeah, the game looks good. This game alone is convincing me to get an Xbox Series X. I'll probably make a separate video talking about how I want to get an Xbox over a PlayStation later, but yeah, looking forward to this game. So yeah, Forza Horizon. I'm not the biggest racing fan, but this one and the last few Forza games, they look really good. I'm not really serious. I don't seriously want to try it, but when I get an Xbox, yeah, I'll probably try it, And the new location, Mexico, it looks interesting, Yeah, I kind of do want to try a Forza game, but I'll wait until I get an Xbox. So, yeah. What was the other game? Oh, yeah, Starfield. Starfield, that trailer, I was disappointed because I wanted to see more. I wanted to see, maybe they give us, a little details of what the story's gonna be, maybe the gameplay, something. But it was basically just a teaser. It's basically a teaser telling us, guys, it's coming next year, right? So that's what it was. But still, it was something they showed off, and I'm somewhat excited. And I say somewhat because because of Bethesda's track record ruining games because they want a little bit extra money. But, hopefully, since they were bought by Microsoft, they no longer have to do those practices. So, yeah. Now I forgot about this game. And I was excited for this game, too. Battlefield 2042. They showed a trailer showing off, some gameplay, and it looks really exciting. Yeah, I don't really got much to say. I'm fucking excited for this game. Oh, my God. The last true Battlefield game was Battlefield 4. Then after that was Hardlines, which was very mediocre. And after that was Battlefield 1, which was not bad, but it's like it doesn't like Battlefield 1 felt more like what was it the Battlefront games, and then Battlefield 5 felt like a mixture of the Battlefronts and Battlefield. But I want a Battlefield game. So everything's looking good. The only complaint I got is it looks like you can customize your weapons in battle. So I'm wondering, it's like, oh no, please don't. Like, I hope this is not going to be a one-man army perk type of shit where you get infinite amount of ammos from just switching stuffs. What if I want a bigger clip? Oh, you have 2 bullets. Well, don't worry. We'll refill it for you. Like, I can see that being very abused and very unlike because, you could be, you're chasing down a sniper, a guy sniping you guys from a tall building, and then when you're finally up close, I switch my optics with a closer range, what's it called, reflex, and I switch my the bolt action with something faster so I can shoot somebody. So yeah, it's like you can turn your gun into a long range rifle to a close range rifle. I could see that being just like annoying as shit, but I don't know. Like maybe it's only available if you go to like some places to do it. But it looked like he was doing it in mid battle, like he was in an elevator doing that. Hopefully that's because maybe it's a perk, or maybe he's like what was it called, those suppliers, and if you have supplier you can just customize your weapon at battle. I don't know. Hopefully there's balance into that. So yeah, I'm looking forward to this game. Oh yeah, and I forgot to mention it in the last video. So there is a golden edition and then an ultimate edition. Now I'm kind of shook because it seems like maybe EA is going to go back to their roots, which was squeeze as much money from the consumers as possible. Because in the last Battlefield, you didn't have to buy for maps, you didn't have to buy for guns. Now, you could buy for guns technically, but, that's what microtransactions is. It's like, oh, you want the gun? You're going to have to pay extra. Or you could just play the game. And I did like that route. Like, oh, you want this? Well, you can, play the game. Or you could just pay a little bit extra and you can get whatever you want. I like that route. But this one, like, why is there a $100 option? Like, what? Is that all microtransactions, or does that come with a map or a gun? Like, what is this extra shit? I'm wondering, are we gonna go back to buy map packs? Now I'm not against buying map packs, but back then when you had to buy map packs, that would divide the community. There's the community where they bought the map packs and they're playing on the new maps, and then there's a part of the community that didn't bought it and are playing just the base maps, the maps that are free. So yeah, those were the 5 games that really interest me when I saw it in the Xbox conference, and those are a decent amount of games. So yeah, I think Xbox had the better conference than Nintendo. Alright, now speaking of Nintendo, let's talk about Nintendo's E3. I thought, yeah, Xbox's conference was better than Nintendo's, because the games I saw on Xbox, there was a decent amount that I actually want to play. But with Nintendo's conference, there wasn't much games, out of all the games they had. I think I saw like a few games that I'm like, oh, that looks interesting. And then there's one that, oh, okay, this is a must buy. so most of the games, they're just like, all right, these are like indie type of games, like these games, it's like, all right, we're gonna put it in this conference because we want to have a close relationship with the developers. That's why they put it on the conference, and just to make filler. All right, so let's talk about the games that I thought were interesting, but like not a must buy. It's more like, yeah, I'll keep my eye on how development is, and watch whatever trailer is coming out, or gameplays or shit. Super Monkey Ball's remake. Now, I don't remember how, but I did play this game. I don't own it, but I think I must have played it on a friend's house, and I remember loving it, but not enough to buy it. It felt like a mini game from Mario Party. It's like I wouldn't buy this game because it's like, all right, mom and dad told me, all right, you could buy one game, either Super Monkey Balls or Pikmin. So it's like, I'm obviously gonna get Pikmin. Alright, next game, Metroid Dread. So what I find very interesting in the gameplay they showed off was that it looks like they're gonna have like a hint of horror with that robot, stalking you everywhere. Now I'm not sure if this is just some generic robot, oh, you're gonna see this everywhere, it's an enemy that you can kill, or it might be Mr. X and just an invincible, unkillable enemy that follows you throughout the game. Maybe it's gonna be that. I don't know, but it seems kind of interesting. So yeah. If this is gonna be like a horror type of game, hopefully they make the atmosphere dark and gritty. Like with the gameplay I saw, the lights were on. It's like it's bright as shit. Now the graphics appeared pretty bad in that gameplay I saw. Everything looked rubber, and like lights was reflecting everywhere, even though there was dark parts. It looked pretty bad. Hopefully, yeah, it said it was like early development, so like the gameplay we saw isn't what the game's gonna look like right now. So hopefully that was because we were early in the game creating it and we haven't touched up the graphics. So yeah. So yeah, it looks pretty interesting. I'm not a big Metroid fan. I think the only Metroid I played was a 3D one. and I played it. I wasn't a fan. You know, I asked my mom to return it. I don't know why I didn't like it. I just didn't like it. I don't remember. So yeah, this game it looks pretty cool. You know, that's all I gotta say. Next one is Shimitami Tensei. I can't even pronounce that. 5. It looks pretty good. You know, I thought, oh, okay. Like I've been feeding for a good JRPG other than Pokemon. But yeah, it's like, you know, I want to start Persona, but it's like, fuck, I don't want to. I heard that game was just long as shit. Like, especially the intro or the tutorial is long as shit. It's like, man, I wish Sony made a portable console. I wish they made their next PSP, you know, so I can play that game in the PSPs, because, you know, that's the type of game where it's like it's long as shit, because, you know, the fucking dialogue is like a fucking book, and also it's an RPG, so it's got to be grindy as shit. So it's like, you know, I don't want to stand still in one place. I kind of want to just move around. Like this game would have been perfect to play while I'm maybe editing, or, you know, recording a video, or maybe I'm traveling somewhere. Maybe I'm in the car traveling to New York. That would have been a great game to play while, you know, between drives and shit. You know, like I would have played. I would have probably beaten that game already if it was available on a portable device. You know, a Switch maybe. But yeah, this game reminded me a lot of Persona, and, you know, I've been kind of fiending for a JRPG other than Pokemon. The last JRPG I played was what was it called? Dragon Quest, and I didn't like the game. I thought the game was just boring as shit. Holy shit. Like, it felt like I was playing an old ass game. Like, this was the game that started all JRPGs, because, you know, you could see a lot of DNA that came from Pokemon or Final Fantasy, or, you know, just other JRPGs. It's like this was the great grandfather. Like, everybody took the ideas from Dragon Quest and implemented in their game. So yeah, Shin Megami Tensei 5, I pronounced that correctly. Wow. Looks pretty cool. I might actually get this game. All right, last game we gotta talk about, and this is the game that I got hyped for. Like, I'm definitely gonna buy this day one, and that is Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild 2. Oh my god, the trailer they presented, the way they presented it was perfect. But before that, it was bullshit. They were trolling. They were giving us blue balls. They were just letting us hang. So when they said, we got one final thing we gotta show you, and then they went black and showed us Hyrule Warriors DLC. It's like, oh my god, are you kidding me? This is gonna be the last thing you showed us? Oh my god. But then after that, they showed off the guy who was making Breath of the Wild 2. It was like, oh shit, he's gonna reveal something. He's gonna give us a trailer, something about Breath of the Wild 2. So when he finally talked, he was saying, oh guys, remember, Skyward Warriors is coming out July 16th. It's like, no one cares, alright? Please, show us something new. Please show us Breath of the Wild 2, maybe. After that, they showed us a Gamer Watch for a Zelda game. And I'm like, oh no, they are fucking with us. Like, now I know, like, okay, they're doing this on purpose. Because this Gamer Watch thing, that is not going to be the last thing they're going to show us. It's like, alright, here we go. Alright, bye guys. That is not going to be the last thing they're going to show us. So, it wasn't, and after that they finally talked about Breath of the Wild 2. Yeah, the trailer was really cool, and it really did hype me up. Like, I cannot wait for this game. So it's coming out 2022. We're not sure specifically when, but hopefully early, you know, so we can get this game. Most likely, because this is, you know, Nintendo's biggest game. It's probably going to be around, you know, somewhere around the fall or winters. And yeah, that's all I got to say about the Nintendo's conference. You know, the reveals of some games, they were not bad. Some of them I found interesting, and some of them it's like, And one of them, it's like, oh my god, this is a must buy. The trailer was so good. So yeah, like I said, Xbox won for me for best conference out of the two. And there's only been 2 conferences that was actually good, or at least decent. Like, I think everybody can agree, like, at least Nintendo's or Xbox's was at least decent. Like, even if you don't like it, out of the 2, out of whatever the fuck, 6 of them, they were the best. Now, let's talk about the worst conferences. And, oh my god, there are so many. So many, I probably haven't included a lot of them. I just remember the top ones. I think there's like a few of them. It's like, oh yeah, we got our own conference too. It's like, who are you? So there was a lot of companies that had their own conferences, and most of them didn't really have nothing to show off. It was more. It just sounded like, you know, we kind of wanted to have our own conference because, you know, everybody was doing it. Yeah, let's first start off with Gearbox. In my opinion, I think Gearbox had one of the worst out of all the conferences because they only had like 3 things to talk about. It was short as fuck, and they didn't reveal nothing. It was just Tiny Tina's whatever the fuck imagination shit. I think DLC or whatever the fuck it is. And nothing after that. I forgot. Wait, okay, so it was Tiny Tina's whatever the fuck DLC, and then they announced that Godfall is coming to PS4, and then some information about, you know, the Borderlands movie, I think, and that's it. That's all they showed off. It was literally nothing. They could have just tweaked this. All right, so Godfall. I forgot about that game existing. Like, that game came out. That game is like 7 months old. It is already dead. I have not heard a single person talk about this. I hear nothing about new patches, new DLC, nothing. So the game is dead. All right. I guess they're trying their best to, you know, reach more audiences because no one is playing it on the PS5. So they're like, we gotta try putting it on the PS4 just in case we might get 2 more people playing this shit. Now, in the Borderlands sneak peek thing, they could have at least showed some hints of the actor dressing up as the character. At least that would be something. But no, they just showed us a silhouette, and they even blurred, you know, one of the actors that was in the background dressed as the character. So it was like, why are you even doing this? Like, what is the point? All this video is just, hey guys, we're working on it. Oh man, I can't wait. Oh man, these actors are great. That's it. That's all they talked about. At least showed us something, just a glimpse. But no, just a silhouette of, you know, it could these might not even be the actors. They could have just been the stunt doubles wearing it. And it's like, all right, let's take a picture. All right, let's just blacken this out. There you go. So that's why I'm saying Gearbox probably has one of the worst E3 conferences of this year out of all of them, because at least the other ones, they probably have some interesting games or just something, just an ounce of interest in them. Because this one, it's just like, yeah, guys, we're gonna talk about you know, a movie that hasn't come out and not give you a glimpse or a hint of anything. We're just gonna vaguely talk about how we're excited about this, and we're gonna reveal that a game that no one's playing on the PS5 is also available on the PS4. All right, next conference, Square Enix's E3 conference. It has got to be the second worst thing out of all of them, you know. So, all right, they first start off with the Guardians of the Galaxy game, and already, not even like, it's only like 10 seconds of it, hearing the dialogue, I was like, just cancel this shit. I don't want to hear no more, alright? 10 seconds is already enough. Cancel this shit. I don't want to hear no more dialogue, alright? This is horrible. You know, the voice acting, each one of the characters have a unique way of sounding fucking annoying. Holy shit. Quill just sounds straight up just a douchebag. Like, there's nothing in that character. Oh, this is the douchebag character. And then there's, what's the name? Rocket, who's the, you know, the fucking, the sassy, you know, character that talks back to everybody. And then there's, you know, Drax. He's basically the same character as from the movie. But it's like, it feels like it's trying to copy out of, you know, the movie Drax. And then there's Groot. I don't know how the fuck you fucked up Groot. Like, you even made him sound annoying. Like, I fucking hate his voice. I already, like, please stop making noise. Just shut the fuck up. And then there's Gamora. And it's like, the way I feel, it just, just the voice acting just sounds bad. It just sounds cringy. It sounds like she never acted before, so this is like her first time, and you know, it's like she doesn't sound natural. That's what I'm trying to say. Now the dialogue, holy shit, I could feel the writing room like full of unfunny people trying to be funny. It's like they didn't hire like fucking comedic actors to write the dialogue, or just help around the writing room to make like a funny joke. No, they just got unfunny people, the cringy people to make jokes, and you could tell like, oh, that's a good one. Holy shit, that's funny right there. Let's put it in the game. And it's like, no, like you could tell they're trying so fucking hard to put a joke in every fucking sentence. It's like, no, that's have you been around funny people before? Like, have you been funny before? Like you don't like every second you don't stop and just make a joke. It has to come naturally. It has to sound organic, you know? Like it's just so bad. But here's another thing. Why are they still making another Marvel Games as a Service game? I know I said games 2 times, but why? Like Marvel's Avengers is already a failure. I think there's like less than 50 people playing it, probably less. And I heard they're doing like a strike because there isn't any content in that game. So like, why are they still making another one? Like, you know, oh, that was a failure. Let's do this again, but with another, you know, characters. You know, let's do that. Let's make another game that is so similar. You know, and not maybe improve the game we just made a few months. It's not even a year old yet, I think. So the game is already 10 months old. It's already a failure. There's barely content. The player base is doing a strike on the game, and they decided, let's make another game like that. I don't know what the fuck they're thinking. They probably invested a lot of money thinking that this might be a success. But it just turned out being a fucking failure, so... Well, at least this game has more player base than Godfall. I could say that. So, yeah. Next one, Chaos. And oh yeah, they announced a Black Panther DLC. It's already too late. This game is already fucking dead. And yeah, what happened to Spider-Man? You know, they said that, oh, PlayStation players will have Spider-Man in the game. And it's like, it's already it's almost a year of the game's release, and still no Spider-Man. Like nothing. Like they are. I bet. Jesus Christ. Like I heard someone make a comment about this. They probably thought, oh man, Chadwick Boseman died. Oh well, shit. Let's focus on Black Panther. So it's like, this is kind of disgusting. Like they think, oh, a tragedy just happened. Well, let's see if we can make more money out of it just by, you know, focusing on the character that the man that played it died. So yeah, after that, it's like, yeah, they just talked about a bunch of games that I don't care. I don't care about Life is Strange. I never played it. I got family members that played it, but I don't care. And then there's what's it called, this Final Fantasy Stranger of Paradise. That game looks like it's running on a PS3. Like, this is supposed to be a next-gen console type of thing. This is going to be available on the PS4. Like, why does this look like this? It's probably very early access. They were probably working on this game and stopped production. And then they're like, oh shit, we ain't got no games coming out this year that is Final Fantasy. Could you guys probably check in the back of the room and see if there's any games that was halfway done and, you know, try to finish them for next year? And that's what it felt like. It's like that game was halfway done back in 2007, canceled, and now it's being finished right now. And right now they're just, you know, giving the demo of what the game looked like back in the 2007s, you know, and then, you know, after that they'll polish everything and finish the game. That's what it felt like, you know. It's probably not that easy how I'm describing it, but that's what it felt like for me. Now, the reason why Square Enix was second bad and not first bad is because at least they showed something new. Like with Gearbox, they didn't have nothing. Like, not at all. Like, they had to have a conference, you know. They just had that Tiny Tina thing, and that was it, you know. Like, and if they could have showed something new, maybe they could have showed the actors dressing up as the characters. But no, we didn't even get that. So that's why Square Enix is second bad. So, the third worst was Ubisoft. Now, everything they revealed from Ubisoft, I didn't hate. It's just I didn't care. So that's why it's, you know, the third worst. I wouldn't really call it worst. It's more like, it's like bottom middle, you know. Like, most of the things they revealed, they showed off, I didn't care. There was a cool scene with the villain of Far Cry 6. You know, the actor, that was a great performance. And then they showed off a new Mario plus Rabbids game. And, you know, I did like the game. Now, I haven't played it, but I did like the idea. I didn't get the first one because I heard it was just easy, so I just didn't get it. I was like, hopefully, there'll be another game, and there is. So hopefully this has a little bit more difficulty, so I can get it. And yeah, Ubisoft, it was just like, I don't care. Oh yeah, and that Rainbow Six shit. Oh my god. Honestly, they could have just canceled this, because, it just straight up looks like Chimera, but in a cleaner area. Like, I like, it's trying to look like it's a different game, like, the gameplay is going to be different from Rainbow Six Siege, but it's like, it's still Rainbow Six Siege. They're trying to have, like, stealth missions, like, oh, we're going to be quiet and shit. It's like, no. It feels like they're trying to have this type of, like, co-op, zombie game. But it's like, no, all right? You're not going to be Left 4 Dead. You can't even switch weapons in this game. So there's nothing really dynamic that is happening. It just feels super linear. There's nothing to talk about. So I'm just going to move on. All right, so fourth worst conference, the PC show. I forgot what it's called. Fuck it. But yeah, it is revealing, a bunch of indie games, some of the indie games, they look pretty good. That's why it's in fourth place. I think they were having a collaboration with, like, G4 members hosting the PC show as like a, advertisement of, hey guys, G4 is coming back. Remember us? It's like, I don't care. No. So yeah, I thought, PC conference, it was just mediocre. But some of the games they revealed, it wasn't bad. It was just like, I don't care, but I could see someone liking this. So yeah, and also the skits that were having they were having in between of showcasing the games, it was just cringy. And it's like, just skip over this. Holy shit, I forgot about Capcom. Like, they really had a conference and then just talked about nothing. It's right next to what's it called? To Gearbox. But, like, I don't know, like, at least Gearbox, they could have showed something, but they decided to not show anything. It's like they had it, especially with the, with the movie shit. It's like, you could have showed the characters. But with Capcom, it was like nothing. Like, I have no opinions. It's almost like you had a conference talking about nothing. But why do I feel like, why do I not feel insulted with you showing nothing? I don't know why. Like, Capcom, I think it's just like, I forgot about Capcom. But while Gearbox, I remembered it because it was talked about nothing, and they could have showed something. I think it was just, Gearbox is just first place because I was mad because they could have showed something. But with Capcom, like, I have no opinions. It should have been, second place. But I just forgot about that conference. So I'll put it between Gearbox and Square Enix. So yeah, that was E3. And, a lot of people were saying this is the worst. I've seen a lot of E3s, I remember all of them. And yeah, this is probably like top 3, but I wasn't as disappointed because I had low expectations. Most E3s weren't really that, exciting, it's usually just boring. But this one is just like, yeah, we attempted and we failed, I saw this coming, so I wasn't as disappointed. But yes, this was a pretty bad E3. So yeah, the only ones that saved it was Nintendo and Xbox. That's surprising. So yeah, that's all I'm gonna say. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Like, comment, subscribe. Follow me Twitch, Twitter, and Twitter. Hope you guys enjoyed this video, and let's say goodbye.